Without question, the biggest story of the American political primary season is the allegation made by Larry Sinclair of drugs and oral sex with Barack Obama. The story has been suppressed, as you well know. The Globe, an American tabloid, has come out with its second edition on this story. The headline, Obama Caught Up in Gay Murder Probe. The story just got a lot bigger. Pastor James Manning has come forward and made allegations which back up Larry Sinclair's that Barack Obama is bisexual, homosexual, or gay, whatever your preference. Pastor Manning, thank you for being here. You are making statements here that, again, mirror and echo those of Larry Sinclair.
Absolutely. Well, let me say this. My statements are as solid as a rock. And at the opportune time, I will demonstrate them, as I did when I made statements regarding his mother and about himself and his father and what went on in that relationship when they first came together. And I also stated then that I would only make my proof of my statements available at the opportune time for several reasons. One is the Obama campaign is a very shrewd campaign, and they're able to circumvent you. If you put your information out, and if you're not fully protected with it, they know how that David Axelrod and all that crowd knows exactly how to circumvent. And the Obama campaign also has absolute sway over the liberal media, so they know how to quash a story in a moment, the way they're doing with Larry Sinclair. The other item is that when I did put my statements out regarding his mother and how he came into being, about a month after I put my statements out, Time magazine came out with an article. I was right then, I'm right now. Jeremiah Wright is definitely a closet homosexual. There's no doubt about it. And Obama is as well, and Larry Sinclair would testify to that. But there are a whole lot of other folk in Trinity, United Church of Christ, and around Chicago that would testify to the fact that Obama is a homosexual, as you stated or introduced, as a bisexual, because he is married and obviously enjoys relationships with women as well. But my proof is as solid as a rock, and at the opportune time, I will demonstrate it.
When you first heard of Larry Sinclair and his allegations, did that surprise you at all that it came?
Not at all. I knew that, knowing what I know about Obama, that, when you're homosexual and you're in the closet, you're constantly trying to feed that sex drive without being caught. And when you have a high visibility such as his, you're always dramatizing what you're doing, and you're bringing more people into your web of sin. And now that he's become a presidential candidate, he's had to scrutinize himself more. But that sexual drive doesn't go away. So, no, I was not surprised to hear what Larry Sinclair had to say.
Not exactly an unknown issue that he is at least bisexual.
Everybody knew about Clinton's problems while he was governor, and as he was running for president, everyone knew about them. It's just that, these people are able to manage the press. That's why I'm carefully guarding the things that I say or demonstrating my proof. They're able to manage the press in such a way and public opinion in such a way as to, even though these things are well known, they're able to squash it in such a way as to make the people who come out and make statements look foolish. Right. So I'm watching myself very carefully.
Have you spoken to Larry Sinclair ever?
No, I have not. I have been aware of him now for about 3 weeks. I knew then that there was some validity to what Larry had to say, but I don't know him personally. I have no idea who he is. Right. Beyond that, this one person who validated myself and him.
Does it surprise you that this has been so completely suppressed, except for the Globe? Now, this has been around for some time on my program and some other media
outlets. It doesn't surprise me, though, it's been suppressed. I mean, you're talking about a group of people, not so much Barack himself, but you're talking about a group of people who have found an opening in the American system of democracy and a wedge between all of its problems, a nation coming out of perhaps one of its worst military campaigns, headed towards perhaps its second greatest financial struggle, a country torn asunder with racial strife and a myriad number of problems, and a country crumbling from what it used to be in its heyday.
Oh, yeah.
And a group of people who have the opportunity now to seize power. And they already control the media. They control what people think. They control what we listen to, and now have this candidate. So I'm not surprised that this matter is suppressed the way it is. What I am surprised is that Larry Sinclair is still alive. That's what I'm surprised at.
That is something that Larry worries about quite a bit, too, his personal safety. He has received God only knows how many death threats. There certainly is a very powerful cabal interested in electing Barack Obama to the White House. These people certainly obviously have their hands on the majority, if not the overwhelming dominance of the American mass media, hence the oblivion status of the story. I think that Larry Sinclair would do very well to go to Washington, D.C. with proper protection to the National Press Club and call for a national press conference and make his statements and allegations right there. Would you, sir, be willing to appear at such a press conference, should there be one?
Yes, I would. Without hesitation, I would definitely appear.
All right. I think that's something the American people have a right to know. Now, one's personal sexual preferences, religious issues aside for a moment, at very high levels of government in this country, obviously open them up to political blackmail.
Absolutely.
That is one key issue. Just one.
We're looking at a very dangerous situation here with respect to Reverend Wright and his homosexual relationship with Senator Obama. And I'm afraid that the issues that and the people that are aware of Obama's homosexuality, they're not using it now, but they're not his friend, and he understands that as well. They have been. He's now isolated from Reverend Wright, so blackmail is a high possibility and can certainly sway our nation in the wrong way, and people who we would not think would be pulling strings will certainly be doing so.
Understand.